Well, welcome back again to another series. This is the third, and if you've not looked at the first two, then I would encourage you to do that first. And we're going through this verse, Luke 12, verse 32. Fear not, little flock, for it is the Father's pleasure to give you the kingdom. So we get on to the next word. We looked at pleasure, and we looked at Father, the Father's pleasure, and now we're going to look at the word give. Consider the word give. It is your Father's pleasure to give you the kingdom. Jesus does not say he will sell you the kingdom or trade the kingdom. There's nothing here for us to earn. It's given. It's not based on our behavior. It's not based on anything we are or do or achieve or any skill we've learnt. It is given. Oh, how we need to let this sink into our spirit and our soul. God is not a reservoir that needs rain to keep refilling it. He's not a tank or a trough from which we draw buckets. No, God is so often pictured in prayers and hymns and song lyrics and scripture as a spring welling up from within. Or sometimes an incessant waterfall that keeps pouring into our lives, or a flood of immeasurable proportions. He doesn't want us to turn up with buckets, and he just wants us to drink. The qualification is not strength for how many buckets we can hold, but thirst that brings us to drink. It's not bought or bartered or earned in any way. It's acting like a child and receiving. It is his pleasure to give us the kingdom, and God gives it to us willingly. And then if we move on to another word, which is flock. Fear not, little flock, for it is your Father's pleasure to give you the kingdom. Jesus is piling up the metaphors. He is our Father, our King, since he is giving us the kingdom. And now we are his flock, so he must be our shepherd. The most profound way to appreciate the meaning of this is to look at Psalm 23. The promise of green pastures and still waters. It's there in Psalm 23. The guidance in the light of life and the comfort in the shadow of death. That's where God will be for us. Triumph over enemies. Overflowing cups of gladness. And goodness and mercy pursuing us every day of our lives and forever and ever. That's the sort of shepherd he is. That's the sort of flock we are. We learn that the good shepherd lays down his life for the sheep. He seeks the lost ones. He protects the flock from attack. He stands at the door. He looks out every day for the return of the prodigal. He goes looking for the one and leaves the 99 behind. And Paul says, he who did not spare his own son, but gave him up for us all, how will he not also give us all things with him? You see, it's the shepherd's pleasure to give us the kingdom, to give us all things. It's to his flock. He loves his flock. He protects his flock. Jesus is a shepherd. So Jesus doesn't use this word lightly when he says we are his flock and we are his shepherd. Okay, see you next time. Bye-bye.